Hutch is back for a family vacation, and that means more fractured elbows and broken jaws. Hi everybody, Anthony here from Osmanthine Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of Nobody 2. But before we get started, please leave a like, and at the end of the video, if you think I've earned it, please subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new review. Now let's get into it. Nobody 2 picks up sometime after the first, with Bob Odenkirk's Hutch having returned to his life of being a CIA assassin. But things aren't so picture perfect at home. Growing estrangement with his wife Becca, played by Connie Nielsen, feeling like his daughter Sammy, played by Paisley Catarath, doesn't even think he exists, and his son Brady, played by Cage Monroe, getting into fights left and right, leads Hutch to make the very dad decision of loading everybody up in the car for a road trip. But this isn't any road trip. It's to Hutch's childhood vacation spot, Plummerville, filled with memories of time spent with his brother Harry, played by as an adult by the RZA, and his father David, played by Christopher Lloyd, who, of course, tags along for the ride. But in true Hutch fashion, what starts as a cutesy family vacation quickly spirals into fistfights, brawls, and an all-out collision course with the town's corrupt sheriff Abel, played by Colin Hanks, slimy and shady benefactor Wyatt, played by John Ortiz, and the reigning queenpin of chaos herself, Lendina, played by a truly unhinged Sharon Stone. So much for that vacation. Confession time. I didn't watch the first Nobody until like 3 days before I saw this, and I enjoyed it a lot. Sure, it's got its obvious comparisons to John Wick, but honestly it's kind of impossible nowadays to make a revenge-driven action movie starring a middle-aged actor and not have people immediately bring up John Wick, especially when it's written by the same guy. But what I really appreciated about the first movie is that it sneaks a lot of comedy in among the bone-crunching violence. Christopher Lloyd showing up as Bob Odenkirk's dad was a very fun surprise, and Odenkirk proved himself as an unlikely but convincing action star, even if he doesn't have the likability that he has as Saul Goodman. So when I saw that the trailer for Nobody 2 was leaning a lot harder into the action comedy zone, with clear inspiration from National Lampoon's Vacation, I was in, because this looked like it was really going to carve out its own identity. And for the first hour, it does. The opening is fantastic. Much like the first film, we get this quick, almost montage-like look at every day in Hutch's week, balancing his CIA assassin gigs with his increasingly fragile home life. It's clever, it's fast, and it gets us right back in the headspace that we need for this film, while at the same time subtly setting up why Hutch feels like he needs to take this family trip in the first place. He sees the cracks forming with Becca, he's concerned about Brady's fighting, he sees how much Sammy has distanced herself from the family to hang out with her friends, and he decides that a nostalgia-fueled family road trip will patch things up. It's a very dad move, but one that makes a lot of sense for this character. And I've got to be honest, those early road trip scenes were very heartwarming. Watching this family actually have fun together and enjoy each other's company really adds a nice sense of balance here. Finally, in these movies, Bob Odenkirk gets to flex his softer, more comedic side that we saw all over Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, while Connie Nielsen gets to be a little bit more than just the wife who disapproves. Their chemistry is electric, and it grounds the film. Plus, anytime Christopher Lloyd showed up, I was happy. Seeing him in full grandpa mode playing around with his granddaughter on screen is really fun to see. And the movie actually gives Brady a bit of development too, tying his schoolyard fights into Hutch's violent tendencies. I mean, yeah, he learned it from his dad. It's simple, but it works. And then things start to spiral. Brady gets into a fight at a Plummerville arcade, which escalates when a security guard smacks Sammy on the back of the head as they're leaving. Hutch snaps, as any dad would, and it leads to one of the most creative fight sequences in the entire movie. It's brutal, it's hilarious, it's creative, with Odenkirk back in top form as an everyman demolishing a bunch of rent-a-cops. At that point, I was having a blast, and honestly, I thought that I was going to be leaving enjoying this more than the first movie. But then, when Hutch and Brady get arrested, bring in benefactor Wyatt and the corrupt sheriff Abel, and the movie takes a sharp turn towards cliche. We do get a really fun duck boat fight though. Yes, it's legitimately a fight that takes place on a boat shaped like a duck. It's exactly as ridiculous as it sounds, and it's exactly what this movie needed. But after that, we pivot hard into assassin versus drug queenpin story, and it just becomes very cliche and loses all sense of fun. I literally felt the energy drain completely out of the theater. And the biggest problem? Sharon Stone as Lendina. I love Sharon Stone, I think she's a great actress, but this performance, wow. From the slicked-backed hair to the rotating parade of dark pantsuits, it's all just so goofy. In her actual performance, she's either dancing around or screaming at the top of her lungs, and there's not really any in between. It's so inconsistent and so campy, I could not take her seriously as a threat at all. Instead of being intimidating, she feels like a parody of a villain that walked off an SNL sketch. And that's where the movie really lost me. Because once she enters the story, like I said, the movie slides right into generic action movie cliches. The grounded, gritty, brutally funny hand-to-hand combat at the first and the first half of this movie is completely gone, taking a backseat to standard shootouts and explosions. And it's not bad per se, like it's shot well, it's choreographed well, but it's something we haven't seen a million times before. and done a lot better in John Wick. It all builds this climactic sequence at the boardwalk, which makes use of the setting and is a little bit inventive, but by then it's kind of just a little too late. The damage has been done, and trust me, I wanted to love this movie. The first half sets up something genuinely unique, a mix of family road trip comedy, Odenkirk's badassery, and heartwarming dynamics that elevate the carnage. The performances are great, the family stuff works, the action at first hits that sweet spot of being brutal without being disturbing, but once it shifts into full action movie clichéville, with an over-the-top villain and uninspired action beats, it just becomes fine, even bordering on bad. Hopefully, if we get a Nobody 3, they learn from this. Keep it simple. Keep it grounded. Keep the villains scary instead of over the top and silly. Lean into that family dynamic. It's the one thing that makes this series stand apart from John Wick. As it stands, this is a mixed bag. The first half, fantastic. The second half, kinda eye-roll worthy. I wouldn't rush out to pay full price, but catch it on streaming one day and I don't think you'll be disappointed. And that's my review of Nobody 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this review, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can get notified whenever I post a new review. While you're at it, you can scroll down the description below, find the links to my socials, leave a comment, let me know if you saw this movie and what you thought, and if you want more of my content, you can click or tap on these cards right here. They'll take you to my review of Freakier Friday, or just over to my channel where you can check out the rest of my reviews. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time for my review of Fixed.